Hey there, Jeremiah here. Thrilled to welcome you to the Throw Zone, where I teach you about the juggling arts. Today, I'd like to share a little club manipulation trick called a trap angle. And we'll also talk about its close cousin, the shield, but they are two distinctly different tricks. Before we get started, I'd like to give a quick shout out to the good folks on Patreon and Flow Toys who help support the creation of this content. If you want to help, go over to the Patreon, throw in a couple bucks a month to help ensure this content keeps getting created. A trap angle is a self-supporting little club structure where each club is in exactly the same position relative to the other ones. It's pretty simple to create. Basically, you're gonna hold one of the clubs at about the tape. You're gonna grab the other club at its knob and make sure that the knob goes under the tape. So the green one in this case, the knob is under the yellow one. Then the third club, I'm going to go underneath the club that's sticking out with the knob and over the top so that every club is in exactly the same position with respect to the other ones. Remember, this angle needs to be 120 degrees and the knobs are always underneath the handle of the other club that it's interacting with. If I want to get into a trap angle, basically I'm going to hold two clubs in a circus grip, let the one that's underneath slide down a little bit. It's already under the other club, and then make sure I've got this 120 degree angle, and that's where I can then just turn the remaining club over and place it into its position. So if you're in a standard hob grip, an important thing to do is make sure that that club goes over the knob, and then you're basically right there and ready to go. There are two important leverage points that you need to know about in the supporting hand. My thumb is pressing down on the yellow club, and my finger is pushing up on the green club. That allows me to support the whole structure with just one hand. If I want to hand it off to another hand, my fingers are going to go underneath and my thumb is going to press on top of the green club, and now I can transfer it to another hand. You can do this continuously if you like. My finger's going to cradle the handle and my thumb's going to press down on the other one. So this is just a different configuration. Outside hand configuration versus inside hand configuration. That allows you to pass it in a circle. It is a little bit delicate though, so you have to learn to have just the right touch. Another cool thing that you can do with a trap angle is from this position, if I apply pressure to the body of the club here and apply enough pressure with my thumb on the yellow club, then I can raise the whole thing into a vertical position. So it's all about finding the right leverage points with the clubs. You could then pass it off to the next club by grabbing the orange handle, pressing with my thumb into the green club, and then applying the pressure with the outside of my arm here and transfer it. So you can pass it back and forth there. There is a third and even more complicated one that you can get to by coming around like this. I'm not even gonna try and describe it. I'll let you try and figure it out yourself because I don't even know what I'm doing, but it does allow you to get around in a full circle. If you do just a little half flip and you create that shape from the hob grip with it overlapped, then you can actually catch into a trap angle as well. A trap angle is self-supporting, so you can place this on a table, hold it on your hand as such, you can put it on your head. Anywhere that the trap angle is resting, such as your head, you can toss out of it by grabbing the body of two of the clubs and then experimenting with the leverage so that you pop that top one up. Allows you to go back into a juggle. There are some interesting scissor catch connections as well. Experiment with bringing the clubs together and realizing that there's a lot of staff scissor connections that you can play around with. And then you can get back into it from there as well. So there's some stuff to play with there. Trap angles, though looking very similar, are distinctly different from a club shield. So I'm going to break that down for you real quick as well. The main difference is that this club that's resting up against my arm is on the same side of both clubs. So it's pinned between these 2 points of contact and my arm. And it's really my arm that's holding it in place, versus the trap angle where they all are overlapping one another and self-supporting one another. There are 2 ways to get into a shield. One of them I prefer over the other, but they're both worth knowing. The first one is you're going to take your hob grip and fold it over your arm so that you maintain a grip sort of like this, sort of like a snake grip. And then I'm going to take the third club, place the knob underneath my arm here, and find that sweet spot. Now, the thing I don't like about this version is that my wrist is in a really just uncomfortable position, and the thing that's holding it together is that I'm bending my wrist outward, and that gets tiring pretty fast. So the version I prefer is when you fold the club in, rather than holding it with your fingers, fold it in so that it falls down into this thumb grip here. So you end up in this like thumb drop hob grip thing. And then you've got leverage with your thumb to press into the knob of that club. Then you can take the third one and place it in between your arm, and it's a much more comfortable, way less strenuous on the wrist. The thumb applying the pressure is what makes the whole trick work. That about exhausts my trap angle and shield knowledge. I hope you learned a little something. Hope you've enjoyed. And if you want to learn some more, check out the Throw Zone on Patreon or YouTube, and make sure to subscribe. Enjoy.